Got it? Okay, so, ты пишешь? Okay, so dance. So this is a formula how to learn dance more effective, and also how to teach. But if you learn, you know how to teach is basically you know how to learn yourself. So it's the best way to learn is to teach something to somebody else. So now here, let's say when you have a lesson, you teach somebody, or you for yourself, you want to learn. So first you have to identify what you're doing. What. So here, that's why knowing basic steps, it will be very helpful if you know what you do. And the second, only after that, you have to move to how. And how also have this. What to do, it's basics. Basic steps, names. If step is not basic, if it made up step, you have to made up name for it. You have to call it somehow. Call a step. You have to call it. Call a step. Put some name on it. Yeah. So for example, a good example will be, let's say, if you teach choreography somebody, or if you want to learn, let's say, like what we did today with you. Let's move back. Because this video I want to see my legs. So let's say if you want to learn, let's say we do something like this, then we're doing this, then we're doing this. So how to learn this? So for most beginners, it will be very difficult to learn. But if you know basics, steps, names, it's very easy. For example, first we have to identify this dance is cha-cha-cha, and first we start doing hip twist-shasa. So we have to know what is hip twist-shasa. So this hip twist-shasa, the next movement is called Cuban break, and then we have a body wave. So basically we have only 3 movements. Hip twist-shasa, we have a Cuban break, and then the other movement is not really basic, we just do for fun. So we make up steps. Body wave, body roll, whatever. So in this case, you can actually say, hey, we're gonna do hip twist-shasa, then we do, let's say, 1 or 2 Cuban breaks, and we finish with body roll. So in this case, it's very good already. You have to identify. Let's say some people, for them, will be very difficult to learn already hip twist-shasa because it's quite complex step. So we can break down this as well into the names. Because what is hip twist-shasa? Is a rock step. You have a rock step. And now, what is this? Is a hip twist, delayed walk, hip twist with the bent knee. So we have delayed walk. And then here we have feet together, and then foot change in here. So this already quite complex movement, but you can break it down into names before you start learning any techniques. Yeah. So and then when you teach, when you learn, you can actually talk through. You can do even more simple. Let's say if people don't understand rock step, you can say like this. You can go, we can say back, forward. So it's more simple. So now, and we still talk about what we do. Because let's say if people just start learning, you go back, front, which creates a rock step. And then we can say rock step without any technique, nothing, just to understand. Rock step, knee, right? So it's already will be easy to understand. And then you can go more details. There is delay walk that you don't really step. Just put and then you go foot together and this. But once you study basic from our programs, syllabus, that will be the best, because then you already should, if you do even bronze level, know that this is a hip twist-shasa, that this is a Cuban break, and this is just for fun. You do, let's say, 3 body ripples. Got it? So whatever you learned, like if you have any section in your routine and you see students cannot learn, you have to more focus on what. And then you will see they don't know, let's say, if they don't know basic steps, you have to move into like learning basic step. Pre-bronze level, silver, gold. It's extremely helpful because it immediately covers this. More you know basic steps, and you can learn some crazy steps, let's say like extension. You can make up names for that. Let's say if you do like this, I sometimes call it half moon, or hello, bye-bye, because it's not really a basic. So you make up names. And that's how also you can remember routines. So this is an art on its own. Because a good professional, they see a routine, they can repeat immediately. Why? Because he's like, okay, they do 2 opening outs, then they do spiral, then they do delayed forward walk, followed by alimana into sliding door. So for you, it doesn't mean anything, but like for professionals, they already know it's a routine because there is a lot of names. So it's very important. So make sure when you teach students, they all know names. It's extremely, even to the level where backward walk, forward walk, side, even like call it like this. Got it? And then later I demonstrate for you when you do like a difficult routine, how we can break it. Let's say like our cha-cha. Nobody can learn this routine fast because it's so simple. But if you say, okay, this is a Cuban rock, it's a basic move. Then you do New York. Then you do one more New York. Then you do Cuban break with the high point, replace. Cuban break, replace. So this is for most of you, it will be enough. Yeah, so this is very important to understand what to do. Then you have to move how you do. And number one here, you should do with the timing. It's timing. Timing. Therefore, let's say if we do cha-cha-cha, let's do example of that solo movement. So if first we already identify we're doing cha-cha-cha and we know, okay, this is a hip twist chasse, this is a Cuban break, and this is body weight. The second question should arise. So first question is what? How to dance it. So number one, you have to identify your timing, because timing is very much connected to the music. And let's say first we have to understand what is the timing of cha-cha-cha. Yeah. Is it 2, 3, 4, and 1? Or 2, 3, quick, quick, 1? Or 2, 3, cha-cha, 1? But ideally 4 and 1. So then we put timing into this figure. So we say, okay, on 2 we go back, on 3 we replace forward, on 4 we're doing delay walk, on end we close leg, on 1 we go here. So now we know that figure, hip twist chasse, we do with that particular timing. Now from here, Cuban break, because Cuban break is the figure, but there is many different timings you can do to it. So we have 2, 3, 4, 1. So we do it 2 counts on here and 2 counts, for example, on here. So now we have a routine which we can either call with the names or count with the timing. So if I call with the names, like on the most simple way, I will say back, front, twist together, side. So I'm just explaining what I do. I will say front, replace, body, wave. If I will be more specific with the names, I'll say, okay, rock, step, hip twist chasse, Cuban break into body roll. But if now more professional, this already, we're getting to more education for students and teachers. We'll not say names at all. We'll say count. 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. And when you're already on the higher level, you can do just sound. You can go boom, boom, chick, chick, za, i, ha, cha, cha, 1. So you can make a sound which correlates with the timing. But ideally, timing is better. Yeah, it's the best because it's simple. Already knowing this, you can learn quite a lot. And plus, you can remember. Because not only learning is remember, it's good when students remember and you remember as well. So number 2, so this is already covered. This is you can learn pretty fast. But this is you can work for a long time. To identify timing, to learn timing, to hear it in the music, it's already could be a good process. Now from here the second is footwork. Footwork. That's what we've been talking about, that your routine, what you did. Because footwork wasn't clear, that's why there is like small accident happened, right? So once you know this, you know timing, Now we move to footwork. So what is basically what relates to footwork? You can go very deep into footwork, or you can go lightly. Like very deep is like really understand how the foot moves. Most of the default in Latin and rhythm, foot will go toe, ball, then heel. Toe, ball, heel. Toe, ball, heel. So this is default footwork because you in Latin and rhythm you don't go from the heel, right? But let's say footwork, let's say on the basic step, how we can learn it so like students and we understand. Let's say if we do a basic step, we have a toe, ball, heel, toe, ball, heel. Now we have, I do ball, ball. Some people do ball, heel, ball. I do ball, ball. I go ball of the foot, ball, heel. The same if, let's say, I do basic, check for the ball, heel, ball, heel. Here again, you can go ball, heel. That's maybe like more appropriate way, correct? I do ball, ball, though. Ball, then you go through two ball of the feet, ball, heel. Let's say if you learn jive, people cannot get jive, swing a slightly different footwork. You go ball, heel, you don't have toe. Ball, heel, ball, 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 heel. Ball, 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 heel. So that will be a very good to understand already this. This is the basic idea of footwork. And then what else you can do footwork? Footwork is also positioning your foot, how you place your foot. So you have 40 natural turnout, 45-degree opening, and then how you position your feet. So heel and toe on the same line. So this idea is already great. So this is what you, from how this has to be taught, this. Because when you dance and your feet, going this way, everything else doesn't look good. But I would start like this. Now, again, this is maybe also for solo dancing, for solo. If you like think about your own body. When you dance together, I would teach connection too. Connection. I would even start, before even I teach steps, I would do like this. I would say, okay, we hold. I do any steps, and I would just connect with my partner. So we feel some pressure, yes. And from here, I would be learning some steps, because I like to have always connection. If we learn side by side, before we go into what we do, into basic step, I would say, okay, give me a little pressure, change weight, now we feel connection. So when we do together, always connected. If you do solo, you practice yourself, it's going to be mostly understand what you want to know her. You just connect it with her, got it? So connection is for the couple, this more for the solo. Okay, so let's move on. So for example, this little choreography, how to make for the footwork. So I would explain that we have ball, heel, toe, ball, heel. Then I would go very high toe. Here I would say two balls of the feet. Now here I would mention that there is no heel down on that left leg. So you push from that foot. Here you have ball, heel. Then from here you have toe, ball, heel. On the back you have ball, heel. Here you have toe, ball, heel. And then foot placements, how you place them. Yeah. So you're already covering this, footwork. The next, you would add here leg action. Leg action is basically where your knee bent, where your knee straight. So if you see some people, they go on the bend, like American style, so it's not will be appropriate for international. So you make sure say straight leg, straight, bend, two knee bend, bend straight. Here, bend straight, bend straight, bend straight, then you go. So you already covered footwork plus leg actions. And it's not easy because here you will have a little bit two knee bend. Again, two knee straight doesn't mean you dance like this. It means the knee go bend straight. And as one knee bends, other knee is straight. Yeah. That's like default for the all ballroom dances. Now, from here, 3, this is where you can start already teaching a little bit more body weight. Body weight. Body weight. Body weight. So this already will be a little bit harder. Body weight, so it's basically you take student, the body weight, it means that you always have to have a split weight, then you continue. Split weight, continue. Split weight, continue. Split weight, continue. Split weight, continue. So what it means, for example, in this little choreography, if you're gonna change weight right away, which most people do, you're gonna feel like you're moving too fast, and then in music you're too slow. Not the best feeling. So you want to learn to divide your weight. Divide your weight, then you move. Divide your weight, then we move. Here, for example, you delay your weight. Here you divide your weight, so you're on 2 feet. Now from here, you're using this foot and getting into split weight, dividing your weight. Here always, as you take a step, divide your weight. So this is called split weight. So this will be a very already for more advanced here. So you can start a little bit understanding body weight, a little bit. Then 4, you will have a body actions. 5 will be hip actions. Yeah, because once you already understand body weight, then this is where you can start already understand that body movement. And that formula, remember I teach you body, leg, hip. Body is the body leading the step. Already more advanced idea. And then the last, which I sometimes put a little bit early, is design. Because this is body weight, body action, hip action is a little bit hard. So sometimes you can skip to here with design. Why? Because I just like make it look fast, make it look good fast. So let's say if I know my movements and I know the footwork and timing, that's already good dancing. So I can already start teaching some arms, some skirt movement for the ladies, some volume for the guys. And that's already, that's not bad. It's just like this take a little bit more time to do. So what I see sometimes when you guys teach, like you miss figure names, all of this, like student completely doesn't know what she's doing, or she know kind of, not exactly. And then we're already doing, let's say, design, already doing body actions. So it's a bit like skipping all the system. But with this system, you will dance good. It's easy to train, easy to learn, and easy to improve. Most of people fail here already. That's why, like, the following program, learning basic steps is the key. Because once you know steps, you already start making choreographies, then you don't have to come back to it ever. Then you just work on timing of these figures. That's already a big one. Timing. Learn timing, do a footwork. Learn footwork, a little bit body weight, leg action, body action, hip action, then design. And then you take basically any dance and you just run through this system. And it's like, should be in teacher head and a student head. And then let's say you on the lesson, you work on design, you have to know, okay, this is the last one, and hopefully the rest, we already went through. Right? So design will be the last. But like I said, if you even do this first 2, footwork, timing, it's already very good. It's already pretty, already will look great, better than most of people. So this kind of system. So do you have any questions about?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes.
So when we're learning choreo, maybe like for an example, like with my jive routine, maybe we don't go into like the fun design stuff until like I have the basic jive steps, names, timing, and footwork, and then we can like go to the fun.
Yeah, so ideally, it's a good question. Yeah, again, because we don't want to, this may last long, right, till you get this. But if we teach right, we learn right, and when you get till design, it's going to be real fun. It's not going to be, just like monkey show craziness. Ideally, in ideal world, that's what I wanted for myself. Ideal world, I would learn basic. I would develop that basic into something more than the basic from the basic. Like, for example, like I would learn fan, how to do fan in Ramba. So I know it's my fan, and then I would learn timing of that fan. So I go 4-1 and 2 and 30 and 4-1. So I would be practicing this. Basically, I'm doing fan, timing. There's nothing crazy about it. Then I was like, okay, let's say do footwork. So I know I'm dancing fan, I know my timing 4-1, and I know my footwork. Okay, I'm curling like this. I have a like turn out, and I step this way, toe ball, heel and toe on the same line. Yeah. Okay, so I just covered this one. So ideally, if I will build my, let's say, my Ramba routine now, I would be using this step, and let's say I want to change it up a little bit, make it more crazy. I would like use the same step, 2, 3, 4, but instead of, let's say, just closing like this, I would add rande close. And maybe use the same timing for now. So then I would introduce new movement, rande. Got it? And then you build your routine to that. And that rande in fan, it's already designed. It's already like fun, already. Got it? So design is not only, let's say, your arm style, your personality, performance, but it's also like developing what you know. So then you don't have to compensate with your personality or like, oh, I do a story, but you don't really know the movements. And ideally, yeah, build up like this, and then when you want to do a story, performance, feeling, you have to kind of like know this, because then this will come across so nice. Rather than you just maybe skip this, you just like call steps by yourself, don't know timing, don't know footwork, and already doing like I love you, forget me, like, and then it's good as a performance, but it's not good in all the other aspects.
Yep.
So in the ideal world, yeah, go through here and develop basics into your routines. Let's say if you do jive, so you learn this basic. Okay, this is American spin. Okay, I know the steps. So American. Okay, timing. So timing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can match music already. Dream. Footwork. Okay, so maybe a leg. I lift my knee. So that's already good. And then now, let's say, not even covering body weight and hip action, body action. Let's say you want to do like some performance routine. So you're gonna use this step. You're not gonna, don't just make up step. You use this step, but like instead of just halfway, you're gonna do maybe here, and you go around me. Let's say we're gonna over-rotate. You go around me this way. 1, 2, triple step, triple step. So we develop it into the, and then now it's already like in category of design, but you develop what you know, and then timing, footwork. We just took it slightly around. And then you can, add a little bit actions, hip action, body, and then you can do already some design, like performance. But design there's a couple of things. There's like, it's how you develop figures, your maybe style, your gestures, and the story. But story kind of will suggest, like if you're playful, you lift your skirt. So this arm style already creates that playful movement. But ideally, you look on the routines through like, okay, I have American spin, but he goes around me. That's like, I want you to look at this routine like this. But you talk about American spin, the very specific figure. Is it something yeah? So it's good to have also like basic routines. When you do let's say if you do jive, yeah? You learn basic step, many, names, then you combine them basic, and then you start developing basic routines into something which already become, but then you know that what you're coming from, your basic steps, the timing, footwork, maybe some technical detail, maybe hip action, what your body is doing. And then it's become fun, because then you have somewhere to come back to, rather than you then think like what you were doing in jive, like where she was doing something like ta 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 ta, and then you were spin away, right? So it's kind of like know where it came from, because then you can do it more clean. Because if you know this movement is actually rock, step, you have run, 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 fall away, throw away, maybe check, pivot, 3-step turn. So it's nice to know, or spiral, it's nice to know the building blocks, because then you can do them more clean. How you can do them clean? Because they have like very good structure without even knowing all this magic. But if you know magic, it's even better. Yeah, you have any questions?
Yeah, for me, I mean, when like I have a new idea, I want to teach him to try, I always start with a drill. Yeah,
Okay, drills are good,
I
yeah.
will start the drill, and I will forget, like, to talk to the.
But even drills, when you do drills, you have to put the name, say, okay, this is basic in place, or is it twist in place?
Yeah.
So at least later you take the student with the drills to your routine. You say, okay, this is twist in place. They know. That's why my drills are, let's say, if I do drills, or let's say I do this drill, yeah? So say, so this is a drill, but in a way it's a movement on itself. It's basic in place. 2, 3, cha, cha, cha. And then I develop it in something. 2, 3, cha, 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 and 2. And this is already, funny enough, it's already my routine. Got it? So and then, so we develop it. So, but student, let's say you do this, how many times they do this, then we go to routine, they cannot do, because they think it's something else.
Yeah.
Like everyone think they cannot, even we do exact like this and the turn and arm, and I say, hey, but we just did at the beginning. But because they think, oh, it's a drills, it's something else.
Yeah.
So ideally you drill your movements.
Yeah.
So they know, okay, we work twist in place, basic in place. And then when you do routine, you say, okay, now we'll do basic in place with the foot change. So we speak, what is a foot change? So we do another drill. We close like this, and we go foot change. Close like this, foot change. And we drill it, and we call it, let's say, foot change. And then you say you do twist into one foot change. So people know terminology. It's good for memory. Also, it looks more professional. Second, later you teach many other different steps. We speak same language. Then all you have to do, just like, hey, what's the timing? What's the footwork? Again, once you learn footwork, body action, body weight, hip action, all of these things are the same for every step almost, because it's a technique. Timing could be different. Basic routine timing the same. Developed routine, advanced routine timing will be different. That's the formula, yeah. And it's okay to teach body weight, but at least you have to know that you're in step 3 out of all of this. So you cannot have lesson about this, because that's not a complete. Or you cannot turn lesson into the design and then performance, feelings, then it's become more like a theatrical. So dancing is more this, the names. It's like, it seems very boring, but if you put these guys into it and develop them, developing this, it's already designed.
Like game.
It's incredible. Yeah. So you do Ramba, let's say back basic. This is called back basic in Ramba. You learn this, this, this. Then you drill this, and people know back basic. And now you say, then you teach people overturn. They stay like this, so overturn, how to teach overturn. So you stay like this, and you stay here, say. And then you do this, like a backward hip twist, overturn. So you practice this. So you know, okay, this is backward twist, overturn, this is back basic. And then you say, okay, you combine two. You do back basic, one more, back basic into overturn, and the foot change here. But because, people practice it, yeah, so it's good to know. You go back, together, front, this kind of drill. Back, this is a foot change also, you see? So then if you practice these drills as a basic movements, later you can combine them. I mean, this is pretty advanced, but then you can combine them. You tell, okay, let's do overturn with the foot change into back basic. People know what you're talking about. Yeah. If they don't know, you say, okay, this is back basic. See, going back, just rocking your action. This is overturn, and this is a foot change. So 3 terminology, you can do so many things. Yeah, I think this is a good system. Always with connection. And number one, if we're in couple, always we have to be connected. because it's much easier to learn things and much easier to already feel excited. Yeah.
Charming part.
Yeah, if your leg wouldn't hurt, I would demonstrate how you do it, but we can later on. But that should be in your head when you teach or when you learn. Yeah, take a picture.
Which
Yeah.
is helpful for me because, like, okay, we have performances like next week, right? It's the
Okay, if you
priority should be
no, if you have performance next week, your only priority here. No, it's okay. Again, nobody knows this perfect, but this is easy to know perfect because this is all listed there in the books. If you perform next week, you better be doing only this. Okay, that's why it's not recommended to change routine. But let's say if you have time, you can go slightly about this. Okay, here we do promenade, here we do twinkle, here we do this. If you do whatever, and then back to your routine because you perform. Again, because this is ideal world. And again, when you teach this, it may take a little bit time. But interestingly enough, it takes time at the beginning, but then actually that student learns so fast because they spend time. It's like imagine somebody spend time to learn A, B, C, D, F, G, and somebody only learn A, B, C, D. Okay, they can read simple thing fast, and they start reading already, and the other person is still at home learning A, B, C, D, F, G, G, and then they can read better. They can read more things. If you know only A, B, C, D, you're limited. But then you're like, oh, okay, let me start reading already. Oh. And you can still read, but they come back to learning this. So it's okay. Again, it's okay to perform here. Like most, like even me, like we dance, and then I come back like, oh, what was that? Oh, okay, this is this. Oh, okay, what's the timing of it? I just sometimes, feel, I lead, but then I go in the music like, hey, let me count it out. Let me figure out timing. And I would know the best timing because I know basics. And this is going to be development. So it's going to be very musical. But for teacher, for sure, you want to be aware of the structure. Of course, we have a student, we want to go next week somewhere. We're going to just teach them like right away design, like do this, and then you have to come back to here a little bit. So on a regular basis, we have to do a lot of this. And ideally students, the student who like, oh, okay, that's alemana, that's rope spin, this is opening out right to left, it's good. And then like they can count it, is good. And when you count and you can hear in the music, great. And they do footwork, legs, the feet, pretty leg. Wow, that's already this extremely advanced. Then you will teach a little bit body weight, body action, boom, put design. It's going to be a very, very, very good product. Because design is your mood. Today you feel inspired, tomorrow you come, you don't feel anything. But this always stay with you.
It's the best for me or for students.
Yeah.
Shortcut.
Yeah. And people like it, Maybe for teachers, sometimes because you will know this very easily, and then it feel boring for you, but it's good. Back basic, triple step, rock step, American spin, just like cuddle step. Let's do cuddle step. So we do cuddle step, cuddle step. Oh, let's do timing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, let's do footwork. I lift your knee. This is good. Then you do routine. Let's do one cuddle step, 2 American speed, fall away, throw away into hip bump. Oh, students already just learned routine. It took you 5 seconds, but of course, you build it up.
Yeah.
And it's also good to know all the bronze steps, all the silver, all the gold. And for the students, incredible. For the teachers, unbelievable. And then you can focus on this. Because like super good dancers, they only work on body weight, body actions. But then they don't know much material, and the students don't know. Like girls, they mainly work on design, hip action, but miss all the. So it's like it's a simple model of full knowledge. Yeah. Once you learn this, you can just remind. Then you can also time. Once you know your timing, and this is have to be. Most of the drills they made to practice these guys. But at the beginning, when you do drills, make sure the students, they know the name, what they're doing, what they're drilling. Rock step. We're drilling rock step. So it's important.
Yeah.
Got it?
Building muscle memory.
Muscle memory, yeah. So this is a good to have in your head. Okay.